Okay, introduce yourself, your character, and a little bit about who she is.
Hi, I'm Leigh Jones. I'm playing Cindy Lou Huffington in the Marvelous Wonderettes. She is a part of a girl group with her three best friends, and they're all singing at the prom is the premise of the first act, and she's so excited to be nominated for prom queen, and her whole life kind of revolves around getting this title.
Yeah. I'm Sarah Jackson. I play Betty Jean Reynolds. We are both part of the group, the Marvelous Wonderettes. We are actually not the ones chosen to sing at prom. There's a group of boys who get kicked out for smoking or something, and then we're sort of the last-minute replacement. Betty Jean and Cindy Lou are actually best friends. They're always kind of trying to one-up each other. Betty Jean's a little more of a tomboy, a little more of a jokester, whereas Cindy Lou
very
is
girly,
like a little bit of a drama queen. And so
I don't know what you're talking about.
everything they do is just kind of like, get out of the way. And we, the two of us have worked here for, this is our third summer. And we went to school together, and so it's sort of fun to get to play all of this together.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school together at?
Florida State.
Florida State, okay. Everyone's coming up from Florida for this.
Well,
I know. We're the most talented school. What can I say?
in the world.
Usually the last show kind of usually more about music and less plot, but this sounds like it has a lot more plot to it, or is it more?
It's a little silly. The first act is their prom, and then the second act is 10 years later at their high school reunion. And so you sort of get to see how each girl has grown from the prom, which is a fun experience. But I mean, it definitely is driven by the music. I mean, the people who were alive when the music was written to people our age and even younger know these songs.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was amazing just the first time we sang through it, how many songs that I already knew. So, timeless music.
Well, talk a little bit about some of those songs, the ones you remember, the songs you like, the ones the audience may remember.
Yeah, certainly. Starting with Mr. Sandman, Lollipop, the first act, all those 50 songs, Goodnight Sweetheart, and Sincerely, all just have a really special place. And the second act has a lot of 60 songs, so you get Heat Wave and Respect and Rescue Me. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, people are absolutely going to recognize this music.
Do you guys have favorites?
Ooh. Some of the 60s stuff I think is more fun to sing.
That's interesting. I like the 50s, personally.
Well.
Oh, no. Which act is better? I like the harmonies in the 50s stuff. It's just really sweet and just charming.
The songs like Stupid Cupid and Lipstick on Your Collar are very fun to kind of bop along to. Mm-hmm. Certainly.
Now, do all the songs, you guys don't all sing all four?
We all sing
every song, all
There
together.
is one song in the show that is just Kira Lace Hawkins. Every other show, every other song of the 28 numbers
we're either
is all
singing
four
solo
of us.
or backup. So we're
has
on stage the entire time.
It has. See if you can see us sneaking water on the sides.
So have any of you done a show like this before?
Never. I've never done a show that has such a small cast. There's only 4 people in the entire show, and we're all on stage the whole time. So it really is a marathon.
If you saw Forever Plaid last year, we're sort of the girl version of that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Prettier and,
funnier, more talented,
sweeter, and better looking.
Because I know sometimes in the past some reviews have like cameos for other people, like playing a boyfriend or anything. So it's just you 4.
If you can get yourself seated in section 1, you might find yourself a little more interactive than others.
There's definitely audience interaction, but we're the only scripted characters.
Okay. Singing the music from the 50s and 60s, have you learned anything from this music, or did you kind of already know it, or?
There was only one song that I had not heard ever, and that's Needle in a Haystack in the second act. But everything else, I pretty much knew.
Yeah, it's familiar stuff.
Okay.
I mean, that's the generation our parents are from, so it's familiar stuff from their CDs. I mean, Connie Francis.
Yeah.
All that kind of wonderful stuff.
Are there some songs that are harder for you to sing or did you have to like push yourself for certain songs?
Oh, it's absolutely a challenge. I mean, a lot of the stuff in the 50s is pretty easy in terms of kind of standard, the way that it's sung.
Yeah.
But there is some stuff that's a little unexpectedly difficult. But you muscle
Mainly
through.
just those harmonies, man.
You don't really have.
Sometimes you hear your part, and other times you're fishing for it.
You don't really have the option of not learning it. There's not someone else who's singing the same thing as
There's
you.
no hiding. If you don't know it, it shows.
If you're not singing, we will all know.
Well, you said it takes place at the prom, the first half at least. Is it reflecting back on your own prom? Is it vastly different? I'm assuming. Is it?
It's very different.
I mean,
I don't know about you, but I did not perform at my prom.
We didn't even have live music at our prom.
Yeah, it was a DJ.
I don't remember even being present for when they decided who was prom king and queen. Like, that's not even something that I was concerned about.
Gosh, I don't even remember. It was so long
It was
ago.
so long ago. Back at my prom.
No, I think for mine they did call and announce it, and they made kind of a big deal out of it. But yeah, definitely a DJ. It wasn't
such an event. I think that our generation kind of has been desensitized to these like really big special events, and I think that that's such a fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Is like how actually pivotally important this day is.
And then to take the audience on that journey too is really, really neat.
Okay. Well, you mentioned Kira Lace Hawkins is one of the other girls,
And Jen Dow.
Jen Dow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so all four of us, have been with the Wagon Wheel for a bit, so it's kind of nice that we already know each other and have a pretty familiar rapport together.
Well,
It makes it easy when we're playing best friends and developing that chemistry because we already have known each other for such a long time.
Okay. Well, talk about their characters a little bit and how you guys interact with them.
Sure.
What are their characters
so
like?
the way that it's set up is that Cindy Lou and Betty Jean are best friends, and then Missy, who's Kira, and Susie, who's Jen, are best friends. And Susie's sort of, how do you even describe Susie? Sort of like the bubblegum,
the
innocent,
sweet, all-American,
Yeah.
Doris Day type, like your stereotypical 50s.
And then
girl.
Kira's supposed to be a sort of bossy, kind of nerdy, like shy type, who then ends up having like this big come out of her shell moment. So it's a lot of fun. But I mean, they sort of have little interactions, and me and Leigh like make fun of them on the side. You'll get to see like a lot of really sweet things.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, the friendship was already there. You didn't have to,
Absolutely. I mean, we've all worked together. We've all worked with Scott. We've all worked here. Working him around is certainly an experience to get used to, but when you have four people who you don't really have to say, hey, remember to turn to all the sides, it just is so much easier. It saves so much time when you don't have to remind people to play to every section.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about yourselves. I mean, after this season's over, what are your plans on doing, or what's the future like?
Well, I just graduated college, so I'm still trying to figure that out, actually. I'm from Atlanta, so I've been there for most of the summer, kind of working and getting my feet under myself, and hopefully after this, we're kind of looking at moving into an apartment in New York City, so...
Wow.
I've been in New York for the past year because I graduated last year. Just auditioning and working. I've luckily found a job that I love, and I've been in an apartment that I like, but my lease is up, and so I guess I'll see if Leigh
If this gal...
will work out. But no, it'll be nice. We've been friends for a long time, and it's kind of like, I've always wished she had been there to take that step with me, so it's kind of nice to get to be there while she's taking hers. And so hopefully we'll find a place together.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have somebody who kind of has been in your life and knows what you've been through and just is constantly encouraging you, because theater can be, as cutthroat as anything else.
Yeah.
And it's, especially with girls, it's really hard to find a friend who can be there and be next to you and support you without being competitive. And it's just never been a part of our relationship. And so it'll be really nice to be that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. And this, not counting Rent, this season's pretty much over with. What's this season like at the Wagon Wheel been
Our
like?
first show.
Oh, this is your first show.
We're just here for this and Rent.
This and Rent.
Wow.
We have heard marvelous things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 shows and you're off to bigger things?
We've been a part of... She was in... The only one we weren't... Well, she was in Peter Pan, and then we were both in Legally Blonde, we were both in Carousel, and then I did Chicago. Then we were both in Shrek, 9 to 5, Hello Dolly, Wedding Singer, and then I came back at Christmas to do Sound of Music.
Mother Abbess.
The Mother Abbess, the shining star.
Okay. So you've got a lot of different experience there. Some comedy, some drama, some... Yeah. So, guess anything else about this show you can think of to...
I mean, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, definitely come bring friends, bring the family.
We put our heart and soul out on that stage so that you guys can sit back and have the night of your lives. And you will laugh, you will cry with these characters, and it's just so much fun. And we hope that everybody is going to come and have as much fun as we do.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.